Hey everyone, this is Player 1.
And this is Player 2.
And we're coming to you with our podcast. This time, we're going to basically focus on E3, what our thoughts were.
Yeah, so we wanted to wait until after the whole week of hype and, everything that's going on in E3 and see some of the gameplay footage and then do our reaction to what E3 was and, all the hype and the video games that are coming out because that's what we're here for, the games. So I guess the first one out the door is the EA conference and how they showed Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'm a little bit excited about this game, but I'm also not because I know that it has a weak campaign. I really wasn't too interested.
That was one of the things I noticed right away. They want to say about the whole campaign and they're trying to kick themselves a little bit to make the fans happy by talking crap about themselves. But in the actual revelation, they spend 30 minutes on multiplayer, which looked great, but whatever. A bunch of time with a voice actor talking on stage about the different maps and how it's going to be season pass free, which is also good. I barely heard anything about the campaign, more than just a little trailer. Yeah. That tells me that the campaign has very little depth to it. That it's just like, little missions that they're doing, kind of like in the vein of Battlefront 1, where it's just little missions in different areas and that's it.
And if it's anything like Battlefield, there's really no campaign. It's a weak campaign. However, I enjoyed the gameplay. I love Naboo. I especially was very thrilled. I can't wait to play as Darth Maul because they finally showed Darth Maul like being a total badass. So I do like the multiplayer. However, my initial reaction is this is a game that I'll probably wait until sometime on Black Friday or when it's cheaper to actually get it. If I do get it, because I still have to see a lot more about the game before I jump in. Because, I wasn't really thrilled about the first one.
Yeah, I bought the first one when it was like $20 for the complete edition. And even at that price, I feel like I was ripped off. I paid less for games that have given me so much more. That game, frankly, it died very quickly on my shelf. Yeah. If there's no substance to it, and if there's no real good leveling or anything like that, which is what I'm kind of worried about since that's the first one that didn't really have a good job of doing that. I don't know. I have to wait and see. But I wonder what is it going to take to get a Star Wars campaign game? Just give me Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. Just let me play through that. I don't want to keep playing these little like Mickey Mouse cheap versions of it. I want to play an actual game of Star Wars.
I want an actual campaign of
Star Wars 1313. Yeah, that's what I want.
Exactly. And I want that. Of course, I would love to play the multiplayer, but again, these multiplayer games, they have no substance. That's why games like For Honor are now showing that 95% of their players are no longer playing the game because again, they're weak games, they're hollow. But
you liked it, is the point.
I did like it. I liked how it looked, but again, this is like a pretty girl. You see her and then all of a sudden, she takes off a wig and, she takes off her fake eye, a fake teeth, and then you get the real look. And then you're like, what did I buy?
Jeez, man. Say that.
I did. Because I was trying to remember. You remember those commercials that...
There's a funny Japanese commercial about that, where some guy takes off like the teeth. You guys should look for it on YouTube, where he takes out, it's a guy instead of a girl.
Well, what I was remembering was those commercials that I think they were about smoking, where the girl takes off her fake hair, her fake eyelashes, the teeth, and all of a sudden this like 20-year-old girl is like a 40-year-old like makeup that has makeup and she looks like all like messed up. But anyway,
so you like Battlefront too?
I liked it how it looked.
Hopeful.
I'm a little bit hopeful, but okay. I know that the campaign is going to be non-existent. I'd rather have that the chick who was doing the voice acting just walk off the stage and show me some of the campaign, but they only showed me a trailer.
Because that's just not their thing. All right, so that's part of E3. EA. One of the things that did stick out to me, which you didn't seem too interested in, was A Way Out.
No, I wasn't interested. And I know this year is about the year of co-op because apparently now they're saying that, hey, after so much BS that people like Cliffy B and other people in the industry were saying that, no, nobody cares about co-op. Nobody cares about split screen. All of a sudden, this is a year about co-op and split screen. Wow. Maybe it's because people do care about that. But anyway, it felt interesting, but I'm not really into the whole prison break kind of thing.
It doesn't even look like that's the main part of the game, though. I think that's a lot of the beginning, but there's a lot out of it. What I like about it is, first of all, the co-op idea that you have to play with somebody else. I think that's a cool thing. It's not super innovative, but it looks good. It's also the guys that did the Tale of Two Brothers. And I know that tends to be a pretty good storytelling to some degree.
I am interested in it. I'm not too excited because like I said, I don't like the whole Prison Break thing. And I understand that that's probably the beginning and then the story unravels. But I wasn't too much interested in it. However, I was really interested in the whole dynamic of the co-op, how one player is watching things differently than the other player and interacting.
Cool. Yeah.
And that part I thought that was very cool.
I at least want to play it. It looks interesting enough for me to want to play it.
Now, sure. I guess the other thing on Player One's list here is Battlefield 1, the DLC.
I mean, like I told you guys in one of those pickups, I have bought Battlefield 1 with a statue for cheap. I played a little bit of it. I haven't gone back to it because I really haven't had a lot of time. But I'm really not interested. I don't think I want to waste $1 on that game on more DLC. It didn't really call my attention.
I don't think so either. And moving on, I do have to mention Madden finally is getting a campaign.
I think they did it last year with some other game. I forgot what game it was. Some other sports game. I don't really play sports games, but I like that they have a campaign. I think it's a cool addition.
I think it's a good addition, and I think it's a testament to all the BS that, again, I have to mention it again. Cliffy B and some other people are talking that campaigns are dead, that they shouldn't waste 70% of their budget on a campaign because nobody cares about it. Clearly, people care about campaign and split screen.
Yeah, I definitely do it. And you know what? Let us know below if you care about single-player campaign, or are you just a multiplayer person?
Well, if I have to guess, I'm pretty sure a lot of our viewers and a lot of people do care because if not, games like Horizon Zero Dawn, games like Persona, Zelda to a certain extent.
All the Shin Megami Tensei games.
Exactly. Yeah. If not, people wouldn't care about those games. But anyway, I guess now we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, the Xbox.
Wait, not yet, because there's a couple other things I like. Real quickly, I like the Need for Speed Payback. It's not awesome, but again, adding a campaign.
It's a racing game.
It's a racing game. And you got to admit, though, it looks kind of like they're trying to do the Burnout thing. They even have like the takedowns and the speed boost. It looks like Burnout. So that's kind of cool. Whether it's kind of copying Burnout or not, it doesn't matter. And it has a little bit of a campaign. I kind of like it. I'm into that.
So I guess, I was saying, the elephant in the room, the Xbox
You don't like racing games, huh, man?
No, I don't.
Why not, dude?
I'm just tired of them. But anyway, can I move on?
Yes. Talk about your Xbox.
Yes, the Xbox One X. What a disappointment.
You know how I feel about it? What a typical move for Microsoft. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes, what a typical move. Sorry, guys. It's not that I love Sony or anything. I'm a huge Xbox fan. If you guys
360.
Well, Xbox the original and 360. I own it. I still play those games. And if you guys have been watching the videos, you know that I'm collecting. So what a disappointment. Yeah, it's the most powerful system to date and all that. But I felt that I was lied to in the press conference because they busted out with all these things saying exclusive. They're not really exclusive. Even Metro Exodus is not an exclusive Xbox game. It's also going to be on the PS4. And this whole idea of that I started catching on where some games are exclusive to Windows 10 and what are you trying to do? Are you trying to force me into the Microsoft store to buy your PC?
That's exactly what they're trying to do. They want to take over Steam. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Because there's business there. And this is not what we're really the topic of it, but all that crap about forcing you to Windows 10 if you're getting like a Skylake chip. For those of you who know about computers.
Kaby Lake.
Yeah, or Kaby Lake. Yeah, Skylake is the one before?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're getting like a Kaby Lake, you have to get Windows 10. If you're getting a certain thing, that's all bullshit to just control you into Windows 10, man.
Exactly.
And that's what they're trying to do with some of these games. Like State of Decay 2. I haven't mentioned it, but I've been playing State of Decay Part 1 a lot, and like I'm loving it. And I'm excited to see State of Decay 2 because it looks like it has a little bit more action, but it's a Windows 10 game.
It's a Windows 10.
Fuck that if I'm going to get Windows 10 just to play the game, man. No way.
Or even at the very least that you have to buy it at the Microsoft Store.
Yeah.
Why can't I buy it at Steam or GOG or any other system? Why are you restricting me to just that? I understand it's a play move for money, but at the same time, it's a bad move, especially when you have people like Phil Spencer saying, I care about gamers.
Don't tell me that you guys really believe that this guy's a gamer. If you do, please leave me a comment below and explain to me why you think Phil Spencer cares about you as a gamer. Because I do not see that at all, man.
By the way, I'll even add to it. This is after. That's why we waited to do this video, because right now, all of a sudden, the most powerful gaming system to date, the Xbox One X. By the way, horrible name, but
anyway. Yeah, horrible name, man. You were better off with the Scorpio.
Yeah, I like the name Scorpio, but anyway, now all of a sudden in an interview, he's saying that 60 frames doesn't matter. How is it that in the most powerful system that you're gonna get, 60 frames doesn't matter. I would rather you give me 1080p, 60 frames a second, than 4K at 30. And mind you, this is not true 4K, guys.
Right.
This is checkerboard 4K. This is not the same. Just like when you play on a PC 1080p versus a console, there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Especially playing with frame rate. I'd rather have frame rate. And in fact, you guys let me know.
Yeah. What would you guys rather have? I've been getting more into PC gaming lately, and I've realized, man, the frame rate is the way to go. You can play an old game. I was trying out BioShock Infinite on the PC. Not super old, but old enough, right? It's an older game. You get 90 frames, 100 frames a second on that puppy on a PC, your life changes. All of a sudden you're like, man, I've been missing out.
Exactly. I kind of introduced player one to it because I've been building a PC and I showed him, hey, this is what 100 and...
yeah, like we were playing Witcher.
Yeah, we were playing Witcher and that is a very good optimized game. So I played it at around 80 frames a second and he was blown away. He's like,
yeah, I've never seen something like that. But so the point is, yeah, I agree with you. Frame rate is where it is. And the only one they're really talking about 60 frames is Forza 7, which I'll give them props. And really a lot of racing games, even though you don't like them, they tend to be optimized pretty good.
Yeah, and most of them are
Forza's the one that looks good, but that's one game.
And most of them are close to 60 frames to begin with.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's the only game they're tuning 60 frames, but they're really lying about everything. Right. They're lying about the exclusives, the 60 frames, and this system in itself. And mind you guys, I don't know about you guys, but I do remember the last generation when Xbox One came out. We didn't hear anything. Does this system need to be online all the time?
Right. They're very smart this time. I didn't see any interviews. They let a bunch of YouTubers be there and kiss ass and do their little side videos to try to get sponsored. But nobody gave a serious interview and just asked a serious question like, how often does it have to be online? Because Xbox One, you have to still go once a month, right?
I believe so.
I think that's how it is. How often you have to go online? What are the future DRM for the future games going to be like? None of that stuff came up. And it's not going to because that's not going to happen again like it did the last time.
No, so I want to know about that because there are a lot of gamers and a lot of people that I know that their internet is not that good. So does it have to be online all the time? What is it doing? All the other specs that they just didn't talk about. They said 6 teraflops, the RAM, and true 4K. Okay, that's nice. That's like telling me a car comes with an engine, it has 4 tires, and it drives. But it doesn't really tell me anything else. I mean, I want to know what's under the hood of this.
Yeah,
and
we really have to see, because there's another aspect of this, and I don't want to give Microsoft a get out of jail free card, but the developers have a lot to play in what's going on. If a developer chooses not to do the 60 frames a second and optimize the game, then it doesn't matter how good your system is. It's not going to work.
Exactly. And we're going to get into this. I'll probably do a video about this later on, but we're going to get into this in this system generation because now we have a PlayStation 4, an Xbox One, an Xbox One S, an Xbox One X, and a PlayStation 4 Pro. And so when you have games like Anthem coming out, do you guys honestly think that they're going to make a different version for the Xbox One, for the Xbox One S, and the Xbox One X, and for the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro? Of course not. They're not going to waste their time on it. They're going to make one version that plays on all of them because they want to sell money at the cheapest amount of effort. And that's going to be a real drawback to even the X because it's going to checkerboard render, it's going to upconvert to 4K, which is not really true 4K. Notice how they're saying true 4K, but they're not saying native 4K.
Except for one game.
Which was Forza. So
right.
That's going to be very interesting and very sad because it's going to hold back a lot of things. But in that case, if that's what developers are going to do, why not give us the option for 60 frames? And I'm talking for both systems, for the Pro and the X. Just give us 60 frames. I'm sure gamers are going to love it. But again, that's not the way it is. And I feel that they're lying to us with this whole exclusive gaming.
Yeah. But all right, well, talking about that, let's go through some of the games I mentioned. Assassin's Creed. Are you interested or not?
No, not really.
To me, it looked like a kind of a Horizon Zero Dawn Assassin's Creed. Given, I know Horizon Zero Dawn did not make up a lot of the mechanics that you play like, but it does look better. The graphics look better on it.
Yeah, right? It does.
So... But to me, Assassin's Creed, just
Assassin's Creed to me died after Assassin's Creed 2.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been the same Ubisoft rehashing every year. I mean, what the next time they'll probably rehash Japan in the old times. I mean, it's whatever to me. I was interested in Code Vein.
Which one's out? Is it the JRPG?
It looks, the JRPG game that's, I think, based on an anime as well. but that game is not even, it's dated for 2018. So, I mean,
whatever.
We're not going to get it this year.
No, that's one thing. And we've mentioned this before. I love JRPG games, but those suckers are not optimized. They are used shitty engines. They're usually PS3 games on a PS4. So
exactly.
That's not even worth mentioning as part of the whole Scorpio thing.
That's correct. So now we're gonna get to see a JRPG game that looks exactly like a PS3 game.
Yeah, on an Xbox One X.
Yeah, up converted to 4K, which is really not gonna be all that.
Right.
So the other thing, Crackdown 3. I mean, I love Terry Crews. It was funny and everything, but where's the freaking gameplay?
Where's it? The game comes out in October or November?
November 7th, I think.
Whatever. That wasn't a real trailer. Where's the actual gameplay? Where's the so-called destruction? Nothing is present. I think that game is going to be garbage.
I think so too, because when you don't show gameplay just a couple months away, I mean, we're literally under 5 months away and there's no gameplay.
Yeah, you got a problem.
You got a problem. Now, I was excited about DBZ Fighters, which I'm sure we're going to get it on PS4 and everything else.
Yeah, it's going to be everywhere.
So that to me...
Those DBZ games, let me tell you, man, it looks good and I like it, but shit, dude, you're paying for the same battles with Cell, Boo, and maybe a little bit after. I think, well, no, they've already had the God versions in other games.
So you've had...
So you're kind of just rehashing the same thing over and over again. But does it look good? It looks good. I can't deny it.
It looks great. I mean, I love DBZ, but I mean, yeah, you're right. Now, you want to talk about State of Decay 2?
State of Decay 2. So, like I said, I've been playing State of Decay 1. I'm really enjoying it. It's not perfect. There's a lot of shit wrong with it, but it's a very good game, I think. And I'm interested in State of Decay 2 because the gameplay I saw had a little bit more action in it, which I think is one of the things I was missing from the previous game. So that I'm interested in that. But again, I think that's one of the ones that said Windows 10 or Xbox One.
I think it said
Windows. And I am not buying an Xbox One X because it's not worth it. And I'm not going to switch to Windows 10 just for them. That's BS. So be it. Now, I'm playing State of Decay from Steam. So maybe when they get desperate, they'll move to Steam because I don't think they own the studio. I don't really know. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's one of the reasons why I haven't played Gears of War 4. Even though it's not great, I'd like to play the game. Same thing with that other crappy game.
Quantum Break?
Quantum Break. I always wanted to play it just to kind of see what it was like. Cause it
or
seemed
Quantum Theory, I forgot what it's called.
Quantum Break, I think it is. But can't. You have to first of all, you have to get it from their store, which I'm not getting on Microsoft store.
If you guys ever handle Windows Store, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. I will never wish it upon my enemy. So I will never buy a game from there. But anyway, Metro Exodus. I was excited about this, but I was also
too. But go ahead.
I brought it up to player one. I was like, look, this looks kind of scripted, and I understand Metro. You never had the heads up display. You're kind of watching it through the watch, but it looks very scripted. And
yeah,
it's still has no like date of release, so that to me shows kind of like I was remembering Killzone 3 or Killzone 2, I forgot.
I think it was 3.
Back in the Sony days when they showed like that amazing footage that people are fighting and the Hellgas, and it turned out to be nothing like that. So that's kind of like my take on Metro. Now, in the announcement, they said it was an Xbox exclusive.
I think it was, I don't know what they said, but it was probably like a time or something exclusive.
I think it was an Xbox exclusive, what they said, but then 48 hours later, then the developer said, no, we're also going to make it for the PS4. So I was excited about that as well, because I like the Metro series. I was disappointed, and we're moving on to the next game, is Shadow of War.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I haven't played a lot of the first game. I kind of just tried it, and it's on my to-do list for the summer. But I played the first like 20 minutes, and I was into it right away, and I liked it. And I know it's a good game, I just haven't done it. But seeing the second, I don't like the cartoon look. I don't know why all these games are going to this cartoony asset look. Do you know what I mean? Like the coloring, it looks like a cartoon.
I'll tell you this. I love the facial animations. I mean,
that's true. The facial animations are nice.
We are in a time that we're getting, at least this game has some amazing facial animation, and the voice acting was pretty good too. I mean, compared to Andromeda, I mean, we must be like 5 generations ahead.
Jeez.
But I mean, all in all, I didn't like the whole brightness and the whole cartoony look compared to the
original.
Yeah, to the original. I like the whole darker look, but it is what it is. I'll probably get it for PC because I want to play it at over 60 frames. Guys, if you haven't played 60 frames, you are missing it. The other thing that they apparently spend a lot of time in is the Sea of Thieves.
Oh, jeez, man. I don't know. let us know down below if you guys are interested in this game. It looks okay, but it doesn't look like a system seller to me. I don't really know what the big deal is.
And that's the takeaway that I also take from everything. None of the games or the exclusives that they showed made me or even warrant me to actually go out and buy a $500 system.
All right, so I guess that ends most of the EA and Xbox conference, right?
Yeah, so stay tuned for our next podcast, which will cover the Sony conference, Nintendo, and Ubisoft. And
Ubisoft.
Yeah, Ubisoft. So just stay tuned, and hopefully you'll like the next podcast and this podcast too. So like and subscribe.
Yeah, and this is Player 1.
And this is Player 2 signing out.
Thanks for watching.